Winter, we make sure that all our compost breaks down nicely, and that when spring comes around, we are ready to actually sieve all of this out and use our own compost that we have homemade. So in today's video, we are sorting out the 3 bays that we've got behind us. So today's mission is also to try and sort out the compost bays, and right now what we're doing is that we're just taking the bottom soil out and we're going to sieve it. And this sieve, all the good soil that comes from this compost heap is going to come straight back into our raised beds so we can start spring and summer's crops. And let me just show you a closer view of the beautiful soil that it's created. We've got a lot of dried leaves and straws and that we've not been able to break down. So by doing this, hopefully we can now fill the bays up with all this dried grass, branches, straw, and hopefully that can now break down. So this is the mesh that we kind of like use. We've made it, and it's really fine mesh, and all the good soil falls through there and all the chunky pieces remain. That will just go back into the compost bin. So we've got 3 bays, and these are filled with grass clippings. They've not broken down. You can see how much we are actually got lying around. The chickens obviously want to turn things around, but they keep on throwing it on the ground. You can't even see the walking stones. So this is becoming a hazard during the night when I have to come and feed the bunnies at night. So we are going to sort this out today. But all of this, you see this? Grab some here. Look at that. That is pure compost that we have made. And this is the breakdown of scrap food, chicken manure, bunny manure, all the straws, the grass clippings, any broken branches, anything that comes off of the trees, leaves, all beautiful. So I'll show you guys as we sieve it through how much we can get out of these 3 bays. And this is just from overwintering. Can I say overwintering? This is from it just sitting here during winter and actually breaking down. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We have just sieved the first lot of compost. Just wanted to show you guys what we've been able to get. This is the compost that we have got. This is everything that's broken down, from chicken and rabbit manure to dried leaves to grass clippings to dead branches to anything that had to do with the garden. And this I'll be mixing with some other compost that I bought from the shop, some slow releasing fertilizer pellets, dump it in here, and that is what I'm filling all my raised boxes with.
A few moments later.
So we ended up getting 2 big bags full of beautiful compost, and we have just filled these 3 beds as well as these 2 beds and all the beds over there. And we also topped up some of our fruit tree bases, so this has all been topped up, and all the pots. And what we do is just that underneath, while we are putting all these mixtures into the plants, we also add some beautiful slow releasing pellets, and that's just extra nutrients so it can slowly release into the soil. So when the trees wake up, or if they've woken up, they can just suck all that in and start pushing out amazing fruits. So now that we have gone and taken half of our soil from our compost bins, we've now gone and topped up all the beds, and we just added some nutrients like slow fertilizer pellets in it, and I can see a whole bunch of plants starting to wake up. I see the fruit trees enjoying all that nutrients that we've just given them. topped up all the soil so they can just start spring and summer absolutely perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Start your compost bins today, and if you do have a compost bin, comment below and tell me what methods do you guys use. So we managed to get 1.5 bags from 2 compost bays, and I've used quite a lot already. We have filled up all the raised beds, not to the top because there's already plants in them, but once I've harvested some stuff to plant the next crop, I will fill the raised beds. But I've just gone and chucked some soil in the beds. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. Rose bush is absolutely showing off. The grapevine has woken up after last week topping up the beds with this beautiful organic broken down compost from home. We've put slow release fertilizer in the beds as well. I've topped up this bed as well. I've topped up the pomegranate base over there. These guys have all had a bit of a top up. When we pull all our leeks out, we'll be able to fill this bed up. Filled this bed up, taken the kohlrabies out, and all of these beds have been filled up. And then look at how much compost we still have left, guys. Start small, start in your kitchen, maybe a small little compost bin in the corner where you can just throw away your kitchen scraps, and that will break down. Get something called kabashi. It's something that you can throw over. It breaks it down faster, and also it doesn't give that horrible smell. So start there, and if you do have a small balcony, maybe put a compost bin on your balcony and start there. Grab some regular worms if you want to, because they're fantastic to have in your compost bins. And if you have a small garden but don't have as much space to put 3 bays, then just maybe start with a wire mesh. That's how we started. We took a I think it's called a cattle panel, and we just looped it up and stood it up so it's like a cylinder, where we just put all the leaves and that in there, let it break down, and we actually got such beautiful compost out of that using that method. But because we got so much, we went the 3 bay method, which we don't actually utilize the right way, but it's still doing the job. If you want to go a little bit bigger than that, start with 1 bay like ours, and that will be absolutely perfect for a small garden. But if you want to do it my way, where we've got 3 compost bays, then just Google and find out how to do the 3 bin method, because that is a really nice method. Literally just cover it, water it, and let it break down that way, and it still actually gives us beautiful rich organic soil. You can see this stuff is absolutely amazing. So I hope you guys start your compost journey very soon. Okay guys, we have just completed cleaning up this whole garden, and we have put all the leaves and the straws that were on the floor, we put it in the bays. I've watered it again today, and I just actually wanted to tell you that while I was watering, the compost pile actually felt so hot. I felt the heat radiating off my feet, and then I put my hand in, and wow. So if you put your hand into your compost pile and you notice it's warm or even hot inside, don't worry, because it's actually a really good sign. As I said, if you feel your compost bins are warm or even hot, it's a really good sign. What's happening is that the billions of tiny microorganisms are hard at work and breaking down all the organic materials we've added. So things like our kitchen scraps and our grass clippings, leaves, straws, and even animal bedding. As they eat and decompose the material, they give off heat just like an oven. And this heating phase is actually called the active compost stage. It's the fastest stage of decomposition, and it tells you that your compost is alive and healthy. In fact, that heat is powerful enough to kill off the weed seeds and bad pathogens. So by the time your compost cools down and finishes, it's then safe, clean, and rich for our garden. So if your compost is hot, it means your mixture of greens, which would be your food scraps and your manure, and your browns like your leaves, straws, and cardboard, is actually balanced, and there's enough moisture and air for the microbes to actually thrive in. In short, a hot compost pile equals a happy compost pile. It's just basically nature doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So that was some really, really, really good news. The second day we're watering it. We're making sure we water it every single day. And then we've just covered it because the chickens have been having a really, really good time just digging it all out. And that's what chickens do. They like turning the compost bay for us. But we need it to break down quicker than before, because the compost bay is just getting way too full too fast. So this way, I know it's hot inside there, it's breaking down, it's a good sign. I'll have more compost sitting at the bottom here faster, and everybody is happy except the bunnies and the chickens. They're trying to figure out why their playground has been covered, and it's not me being horrible to them, it's just me basically trying to keep them from digging it. It's so high that it just gets dug out and lays on the ground. So as soon as it breaks down nicely, we'll be able to actually take the covers off, and the chickens can do what they normally do. So that is our compost bin, and if you guys enjoyed this video, go take a look at the next video. You might enjoy it because we went and filled all the raised beds with our amazing compost. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.